In case you missed it, a new Las Vegas police task force is reopening the investigation into Tupac Shakur's death. Major news outlets are reporting fresh developments in the case, with rumors swirling that several prominent figures in the rap industry, including Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and Diddy, could soon be arrested or questioned. Fans are now speculating that Snoop Dogg may have played a role in Tupac's murder after new evidence surfaced, sparking renewed federal interest, following a revealing interview that raised serious questions about his involvement.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car.
Snoop Dogg revealed that he was originally supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight the night Tupac was shot. However, last-minute changes kept him from going, changes that may have stemmed from a heated altercation between Snoop, Tupac, and Suge just a day earlier.
Last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me, how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that. Tupac didn't like that. So we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With all of this unfolding within just 48 hours, Tupac's murder has raised serious suspicions among investigators. Authorities are now questioning whether Snoop Dogg may have received a tip-off that night. 2 decades ago, Snoop was deeply connected to the streets, and many speculate he might have been warned that Tupac was going to be targeted, possibly explaining why he chose not to get in the car. Adding to the suspicion, the feds uncovered another interview where Snoop admitted that just 2 days before Tupac's death, he felt like Tupac hated him.
A week before we was best of friends. 2 days before I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And when did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with them. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like trying to me out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with it. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
All of this evidence has now been tied into a viral thread suggesting that Tupac Shakur may have secretly been working with the feds. According to the theory, Snoop Dogg caught wind of this information, which may have influenced his actions. One interview with a former officer even claimed that Tupac was an industry plant, allegedly placed to help ease tensions and stop the violence between rival red and blue street gangs.
It turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda they came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Tupac Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
Clearly, the original plan didn't work, which ultimately led to Tupac's sudden death. If Snoop had heard rumors that Tupac was working with the feds, it would make sense why he chose to distance himself in Las Vegas that night. However, during the renewed investigation into Tupac's murder, authorities stumbled upon a fascinating theory that Tupac might still be alive. One piece of evidence that fueled this speculation came from a 2010 interview with a rapper named Trey. In the interview, Trey claimed he and Tupac were close friends back in the day and had even worked on a few albums together. But things took a bizarre turn after the interview ended. The cameraman forgot to stop recording and placed the camera on the floor, where audio continued to roll. Off camera, the interviewer asked Trey about Tupac, and Trey quietly responded, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
If you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Tupac still alive? Nobody knows. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba.
Then, just 2 weeks later, things took an even stranger turn. A video surfaced on a news website that appeared to show Tupac casually hanging out in a parking lot in Cuba. The grainy footage sent shockwaves across the internet, fueling even more speculation that the rapper might have faked his death and gone into hiding.
That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographed. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
In case you didn't know, that video is what sparked the now famous Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, a theory that's remained the most talked about for years. But in 2025, it's starting to feel less like a theory and more like a real possibility. That's because Suge Knight himself has repeatedly claimed that Tupac is still alive. Over the past 2 decades, he's made similar statements in various interviews. In one interview in particular, Suge recalled Tupac's condition at the hospital, saying, I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can go from doing well to doing so bad.
When I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody could turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm going to tell you this, Pac, you never...
What makes this even stranger is that, according to police records, Tupac was reportedly in a coma when he arrived at the hospital. So how could he and Suge Knight have been laughing and joking if Tupac was unconscious? The story just doesn't seem to add up. But what's even more puzzling is that this isn't the first time Suge has made such claims. If you go back to a 2008 interview, Suge said the exact same thing, that Tupac is alive and doing well.
He was conscious on the way to the hospital.
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
Suge Knight has firmly stood by the belief that Tupac is still alive ever since his supposed death. But what's truly unsettling is what happened after his 2008 interview, where he publicly claimed Tupac was alive. Shortly after, Suge was nearly killed in a nightclub shooting when a gunman fired 6 shots in his direction. Suge refused to cooperate with police, immediately suspecting that the attack was connected to him speaking out about Tupac. But it doesn't end there. A decade later, in 2018, Suge Knight's own son, Suge Jr., made the same bold move. He took to Instagram, claiming Tupac was alive and living in Malaysia. Not long after, he posted a screenshot of a disturbing text message that read, "You've said too much. It's now time for you to go." Clearly shaken, Suge Jr. began posting a series of photos showing Tupac alongside modern-day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. One of the most shocking posts featured Tupac and Beyonce with the caption, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." While some dismissed it as a publicity stunt for social media clout, others believe Suge Jr. may have been telling the truth, especially considering his father, Suge Knight, was not only at the scene of Tupac's shooting, but also one of the last people to see him alive. That connection alone has led many to believe Suge Jr. could hold more knowledge about Tupac's fate than anyone else. Now, if you compare all of these strange claims to the official police reports from the night of Tupac's shooting, inconsistencies begin to emerge. It all started on September 7, 1996, when Tupac was in Las Vegas with Suge Knight, the head of Death Row Records. The two attended a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. But after the match, they encountered a known rival in the hotel lobby, an encounter that would set off a deadly chain of events.
Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security quickly broke up the altercation between Tupac, Suge Knight, and their rivals in the MGM Grand lobby. As a result, Tupac and Suge returned to their hotel to change clothes before heading out for the night. Dressed and ready, they jumped into their black BMW and began cruising through Las Vegas, planning to hit up a nightclub. Around 11:00 p.m., while stopped at a red light on their way to the club, things took a deadly turn. Another car pulled up beside them, and what started as a brief exchange quickly escalated, right there in the middle of the street.
About Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the...
The aftermath of the incident remained a mystery for 14 years, until the police reopened the case and uncovered a troubling interview with a man named KD on DJ Vlad's show. In the interview, KD recounts the chilling moments when he came across Tupac and confronted him while armed, shedding new and disturbing light on the events surrounding Tupac's shooting.
And Bubble Up was a driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was going to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac?
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
It was during this moment that KD revealed Tupac was targeted because he reportedly started reaching for a firearm while stopped at the red light next to the other vehicle.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
Once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
This suggests that Tupac may have already sensed something was about to happen on the street. Many people were skeptical about KD's story, so to back up his claims, he released a never-before-seen video of his police interrogation from the night of the crime, providing new insight and confirmation for the first time.
You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
The court files even include KD's reaction to Tupac's passing, revealing his genuine emotions during that difficult time.
I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Because it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happen. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. Wish it never happened, dude.
Now things get really strange. It was revealed that KD wrote an entire book about his involvement in Tupac's passing, titled Compton Street Legend. In it, he hints at having played a role in the crime and even knowing who else was involved. So why is he only now being arrested after all these years? Many fans believe it's a cover-up, that with all the evidence coming to light, the truth about Tupac being alive is getting too close to the surface. Locking up an elderly man like KD might be a way to slow down the news and keep people quiet. Remember, it's Hollywood at the end of the day. Who really knows what happens behind closed doors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you really think about all this?